So in my last video, I talked about God's 7,000 year plan, where there's been almost 6,000 years from Adam until today. And at the end of these 6,000 years is when Christ comes to set up his 1,000 year millennial reign, completing this 7,000 year timeline that God has ordained for humanity. And because a day is like 1,000 years to the Lord, and 1,000 years is like a day, this 7,000 year timeline is a parallel for God creating the universe in 6 days and resting on the seventh. But what I didn't take into account in my last video was the 7-year tribulation mentioned in the book of Daniel and Revelation that comes right before Christ's return. And so if we add 2,000 years to Christ's proposed death and resurrection in 33 AD, that brings us to 2033 for his second coming. And if we subtract the 7-year tribulation from that, that brings us to 2026. So could the tribulation start this year? Well, I guess we'll see. I'm just doing my best to calculate the math, look at prophecy, and share the information how I see it. But time will tell. But I believe that the rapture of the church happens before the tribulation, according to these verses, the fact that the rapture and the second coming are two separate events, and from writings of early church fathers like Irenaeus, Ephraim the Syrian, and the Didache, which debunk the notion that Darby invented the rapture. And I recommend this book on that. So there's still time to put your faith in Jesus and make him the Lord and Savior of your life on this side of things before the tribulation. But if you're listening to this and you don't plan on doing that and you're like, dude, this dude is absolutely nuts, this next part that I want to share is for you. Because if I'm wrong about these things, then really it's of no significance to you. But if I'm right, and you're going to be here for the tribulation, the choices that you make during that time are going to dictate where you spend eternity. And that is of eternal significance to you. And so I want to share 7 things about what to expect. And I encourage you to write them down. Number 1, I believe that when the tribulation starts, the world is going to go into utter chaos. And out of that chaos, a man is going to step onto the world stage, having the solutions to all the problems and offering world peace. And because the world is going to be desperate for normalcy, much of the world is going to follow him. Don't follow him. This is the Antichrist. Anti means in the place of Christ. It doesn't mean against Christ. So he's going to be this pseudo-savior type. Don't follow him. In fact, don't follow anyone during this time. You're either going to have to wait it out until Christ returns at the end or be martyred for your faith. Number 2, aliens are going to show up and proclaim to help humanity. Don't believe them. These are